let's get busy. More like what, let's get focused, but yeah, whatever. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start this market ObservAnalysis. And let me get everything set up just right. Probably do maybe an hour, something around there. That's usually what I do. And the whole goal, just like every other time, is just to refine our market skill by learning how to interpret the market's behavior and how to recognize when it is giving us what I call an income building product. An income building product is also an income product. They're both the same thing. But this is the brick by which I will have built my income empire through this skill set. We can turn the background music up, down a little bit. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you the most recent income building product. My goal, or my focus, my commitment is to demonstrate over and over again what building this account looks like by only using the same type of environment, only using the same type of what I call product. There are many different ways you can trade based on the market's behavior. And so I have decided to only trade in such a way where you can look at the demonstrations, and by seeing the series of demonstrations that I've compiled over the past year or so, you'll be able to shorten your learning curve substantially by just watching those demonstrations. So I'm going to show you just one of the demonstrations for today. And then what we'll do is we're going to study what the market's doing, and we're going to identify what we see. So what I normally like to do to start out is I'm going to set my lines. Set my lines like this. And since this is the starting point, this is where I'll keep it right there. Okay. And then these lines just separate one binary from the next. And so that's what we're going to do for now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the recording just to show you what an income building product looks like. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I can see my, there we go. I.D.E.A. I'm bringing it up in my file. Just give me a second. Okay. Overthink and overfund. Screen POW. Video projects. MVP 7. Here we go. All right, let's take a look and see. I want to get rid of the noise. Volume. Let's make sure we don't have any volume to this thing. Okay. Turn off the volume. Bam. All right. So let's take a look at this. starting the clock off, I want you to take a close look at what the mouse is doing. Follow the cursor, follow the mouse. Follow the mouse. Look at the information that it's showing you. I'm going back and forth. Follow the cursor. Follow the cursor. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually watch that again, and I'm going to pause at some points just to highlight a few things that I want you to take note of. Okay, so let's just bring up the camera. And we go back here. Launching recorder. I don't know why the recorder's not coming up. Boom, boom. Recorder's acting funny here, so let me reset the recorder. It's playing stupid. Okay, let's see if we can get it back. All right, recorder's back. Before we go back here, I want to take a look at this binary right here. And we're just going to observe it closely. All right, so between these two lines, what I'm seeing is that these candles are all moving inside of one zone, and the movement of each candle is inside of one position's distance. And so what I'm looking at right now is the way that this price is moving. 75, 81, 85, 83. I like that. I like the way that this price is moving. Now what I'm looking at is to see if this right here, this number here, moves away from the strike. This right here. So if it gives me 95, that would represent a confirmation away from the strike, which is essentially locking it into place. But right now, even though we saw this price moving up and away, we did not see the market move away in tandem. Instead, it's moving toward the strike, which is threatening that position. And you'll see my cursor hovering over this candle. And what I'm looking at is the lowest point on the candle. So the lowest point on the candle is 91, 94, 93. So in this case, we had the market still end inside of this position. It's just that it threatened the position, and you don't want to be threatened. You don't want to enter off of a threat. You enter off of a confirmation. That's the reason why we left this one alone. So we can look back at that one, but I also want to look back at the actual product That way we can compare and contrast the two. Why did I not enter this one and I did enter the other one? There's another thing that I want to do here, just to keep it, just to make it even more simple, is I'm going to identify the sell position, and then I'm going to identify the buy position. And the buy position is actually a little bit smaller, 1 micropip smaller than the sell position. And the reason why is because if the market ends right on this line, it is credited towards the sellers of this position right here. So the buy position is 1 micropip smaller than the sell position. Okay. We'll just keep this like that. And this way we can tell exactly how the market is positioning. Perfect. Okay. All right. So back at the video, let's see, where is it? All right, let's take a look. Oops. Okay. So first thing I want to do, pause it, and right here is where we are. This is where the binary starts. This is where my eyes are. Whoops, kind of a little crooked, but whatever. All right. So I can see that everything is inside of the buying position from the start of the binary. And what I'm looking at when the cursor goes over each candle is its lowest point. Is it inside of the buy position? I confirm that it is inside the buyer position. So actually, hold on. We actually have we have a reason to pay attention to what's going on here too. Here we go. So we will. All right, so we have the lowest point 93, 95. This entered the sell position 92. Okay, so 93, 92. It's gone as low as 91. So if it goes past 91, now it's gone past 91. It's officially exited out of the sell position, or excuse me, exited out of the buy position. All right, so if we were considering a trade at all, of course, you couldn't consider it at this point because it's changed positions. It's subtle. It still looks like it's above that line, but it's right on the line. And when it's on the line, it's in the seller's position. The way that the trade, or the way that the binary positioned initially, it was inside of this green. So it was still inside of the buy's position. Sure. Okay, here we go. Let's see how it'll end. All right, so it held its spot on the sell line. All right. Make a new line. Squeeze it down just a little bit. And we keep it moving. Now let's bring it back over here. So, like I mentioned, everything here is inside of the buy. Everything is inside of the buy. And when you saw me hover my cursor, over each of the candles, I'm checking to see if everything is inside of the buying position. Once I've confirmed that it is, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I'm checking, cool. Even this one, the highest point is inside of the buy. It's at the top of the buying position. So all of that is adding to the justification of a product. The justification to enter a trade. Now, you can see my cursor's on the price, and I want to see how the price is moving. It's at the beginning of its position. It's moving away from its position, and the price is incrementally moving up. Not in big jumps, but just incrementally moving up. What I want to see is a confirmation, which that's exactly what I saw there. It moved away from the strike within the position, and somebody bought it. Somebody else on the other side bought it, thinking that it might be able to go down. But the market told me that, well, it confirmed where it was at. So it's going to stay there. This is what we wait for. This is what I wait for. All right. So let's go back to the actual market, and we can make our positions let's zoom in a bit right here, single it out. Now, in this case, we don't really need to record it at all, because looking here, the price for a sell is well beyond the $2 threshold. I'm looking between $1.50 and $2 that would invite me in for a sell. And then on the buy side, I'm looking at, between $8.80 and $85, or $8 or $8.50. To invite me in to consider a buy. But the price for the buy is way above 8.5, and the price for the sell is way below 15 to 20, 1.5 to 2. So this is out of our range. So there's nothing that I'd be able to do with this one. We just let it pass and go on to the next one. But what I do like about this is the behavior. The behavior is good right now. Now, whoever just joined, I don't know if you saw the demonstration of an income building product. But if you did not, and you want to look at what an income building product looks like, and you don't want to wait until the video ends and watch the replay, just leave a comment, and I will bring that income building product demonstration up and replay it. Okay, so we're right here. There we go. Hey, that seems kind of far, right? 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is where it's at, right there. All right, so just rinse and repeat. We're doing the same thing. And the cool thing about doing these little sell and buy squares is that you can tell when the behavior is starting to switch up. We can see that the market is accelerating. Doesn't mean that it's permanently accelerated, but as it relates to this position, the behavior, this right here, this big candle, this big movement right here is telling me that there may be a shift coming for the behavior. The shift is already happening. When it reestablishes itself, then the market will either be in a behavior that's more conducive. It could be kind of like realigning itself in terms of finding another positioning alignment. Because in many cases, the market will move the way that I want it to move and need it to move, but it won't be in sync or in alignment with the positioning. And so the market hasn't settled back into where it's established its newfound behavior yet. So it's way too early for me to say if the market is becoming more or less stable. But this candle right here tells me that the behavior is changing right here. Because all leading up to this, you can see the range of movement in these candles, and they're nowhere close to as big as this one. Let's take a look. So this candle here, we have the highest at 79, the lowest at 73. That's a 6 micropip distance. This one, same thing, 84, 78, 6 micropips. This one, 3. This one, 4. This one, 5. If we go back even further, this one, 8. This one, 22. So that's plenty enough to tell me that the market, even if it lines up here, the market needs to reestablish its range of movement, its average range of movement, in order for me to feel any sort of confidence or comfort in entertaining a product or a trade. But in this case, it seems like that movement is still prevalent, and we're at our consideration window, and we see that this behavior is still present. We're in the buy position. This is where we started at 73 at the bottom. This is at 73. Okay, so I'm looking at a buy. I wouldn't want to mess with this because of the way that it's moving. And then on top of that, the market's pricing is already past the point of consideration. It's already too high. We've been priced out of this quote unquote trade, but it's not a product that would qualify. The quality of this behavior is too unstable and out of alignment. It's too out of alignment. We did have a close one, so I want to show you this close one here, which is this one here. No, that's not it. This one. This was just 10, 15 minutes ago. Let's take another look at it, and we're just going to observe it closely. All right, so between these two lines, what I'm seeing is that these candles are all moving inside of one zone, and the movement of each candle is inside of one position's distance. And so what I'm looking at right now is the way that this price is moving. 75, 81, 85, 83. I like that. I like the way that this price is moving. Now what I'm looking at is to see if this right here, this number here, moves away from the strike. This right here. So if it gives me 95, that would represent a confirmation away from the strike, which is essentially locking it into place. But right now, even though we saw this price moving up and away, we did not see the market move away in tandem. So this is just the example. This is just an example of something that is much closer to the type of behavior we want to see. And so if you fast forward to the end of the video, you'll just hear me say it threatened the position instead of confirming the position. Because even though the pricing was good, even though the average range of movement of the candles was good, the issue was the market's confirmation. It did not confirm by moving further away within the position. It challenged or threatened by moving toward another position. And of course, that's not what you want. So now we can see that range of movement is widening. And if I wasn't already on here, I'm just like, that makes me less interested in observing. Like typically, if I'm not doing my market observer analysis and I see the range of movement widening, then I'm usually not even paying attention to what's happening. But we can use this as an opportunity to steady what's happening, because there's still opportunity even with the market moving the way that it's moving. Like it's not really too erratic. I haven't seen anything happen strangely with the pricing yet. But the fact that we have, how many positions are we touching right now? Let's take a look. That's one. So this binary is touching 1, 2, 3. The binary is touching 4 different positions, which means that it's possible that the market could land in any of these 4 positions. Why would I put my money on a 25% probability? That's almost $2,000 that we're talking about. I'm not doing that. I'd be better off just by waiting for a 100% probability. But for the sake of this exercise, let's take a look and see how the pricing moves. 29, 35, 20. So I'm led to believe that the market, it did confirm away. I love that confirmation. My old training would have brought me into this sell right here, click. But the reason why now we're hopping back right here. The reason why I would, and I'm glad I didn't, I would leave it alone is because the potential includes 4 different positions. So the whole concept of the market confirming away only applies in a certain condition. It can still go back down, but no. Those are what I call setup traps. They look like they set up beautifully because the price moves well and then they turn around and do something like that. Those hurt. So we avoid those. Does it take longer for me to get trades? Yes. But my trades are top quality. I don't have to worry about shifty behavior because I've screened it all out by that point. So keeps you out of trouble. Even in the product, the demonstrated product, the market was right next to the strike. It was one away from the strike. But it had established itself inside of that position. The market has not established itself in any position for the past, well, let me see. 1, 2, 3 positions here. 1, 2 positions here. 2 positions here from the start. 1, 2, 3, 4 positions here. 1, 2, 3, 4 positions here. This one starting in this buy position. We want to see if it establishes itself in this position, in this buy position, without venturing off into, oh, there you go. So that's over with. It doesn't require me to look any further than I'm already gone. But we still got plenty of time before the consideration window opens up. So I'm just kind of explaining what my thought process is when I'm observing. All right, we'll take a look at this one here. It's in the sell position. It's threatening the sell position. The market's moving toward it's moving, yeah, there you go. It's moving toward a buy position. It's moved into a buy position. Let's see if it confirms the buy position. Even if it confirms the buy position, I cannot touch this because that position's not established. Not only is it not established, did you see what it just did? It skipped over a step. That's aggressive. It created a small gap, like a bubble. That can mean that the market is in a momentous state, or it could come back and collect that skipped position, or it can come back and overcorrect as it comes back to collect that missed, skipped position. 3 different possibilities. That's too many. Too many. It comes back to collect that missed skip. Yeah, see, we're seeing more movement. Let's see how many. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess you could argue for. You could argue for. Yeah. 4 position movement. Too much. The behavior itself is all right, though. It's just too much movement. Oh, my bad. There we go. Yeah, that jump, that skip in micro pips, that's not a good sign for stability purposes. But keep on looking. Let's take a look at this one. So this one touched the bottom of the sell. It's threatening the buy right now. Now it's in the sell. So it's already touched 3 positions. May not look like it. It looks like it's all in one position, but it's touched 3. Look at this one here. Lowest, 7110. Now 7108. That we're all up in this cell here. This one, 7121. That's the bottom of this cell. We still have another minute or so before we can find out if it's being established here. But if I'm going off of all of this, the market isn't establishing itself. It looks like it's more so trying to find itself. 2 different things. We can pull this up. Big jumps in pricing. Not what you want for the type of product that we're waiting for. So the market's getting less the instability is being reflected by the price the most. The pricing. Because it's skipping around. It's gapping. Skipping whole digits. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. Look at that. You see this? You see that? This should tell you that the market is actually becoming unstable. One, two, 3 positions. It's touched 3 positions. Sell, touch the sell at the highest point here. Obviously the buy, all up in the buy right there. Touch the sell. Rested in the sell. Played in the buy. And ending in the sell. Lots of movement. So the market leading up to this point, if we kind of just rewind back, the market has become less stable. Over the past 45 minutes, the market has become less stable. It was respecting the zone initially here and here. And then when we got that big boost right here, This is when the market's behavior started to shift around a little bit. And now the market's behavior is shifty. So we'll watch 3 more binaries. And then that's going to be it. All right. It's going to break the sell. Enter a new buy. This is out of place. We still got plenty of time. But since we've been seeing the pricing being the leader of the misbehavior, we'll bring the strikes back. And we'll keep an eye on how the numbers move. You don't need to look at anything really now, but it's something you can take note of. Once we get to that 2 minute, minute and a half point, that's when we're really paying close attention on if the market, at least if the market's pricing is moving incrementally or if it's moving sporadically. Let's see. All right, so we're still inside of the buy. Lowest point 91. So we're still inside of this buy. We've had some sporadic movements. And it's been clued by the price. So I want to pay close attention to the price. Big jump from 74 to 5. This is already out. We're going to see a move back into the sell on this side. Doesn't mean it's going to stay in the sell. It's just we went from 75 to 50 or 7.5 to 5. It did not move incrementally. So it's automatically disqualified as a product. Still keep an eye on it for just observational purposes. Still seeing that jumpiness a bit. You don't ever want it to skip digits. 70, 80, cool. 30, 20, or 3, 2, 1, cool. 3, 1, 2, I don't know about that. Yep. Nope. Okay, I think this is going to be the last one. I have enough to go ahead and call it a night if I'm being honest. I don't have to do a full hour. And the reason why I don't have to do the full hour is because the market's becoming less stable. So what's the point of me sticking around and watching the market try to figure itself out? Like, nah, man, I'll be back when you've figured yourself out. So we'll finish watching this one and we'll call it a night. Look, I'm already looking at other stuff to do, man. Because I already know ain't gonna be shit to entertain with this one. Yeah, it's 3 positions. This looks like it's in 1 position, but it's in 3. This is in the sell. Obviously, this is in the buy, but it touched the sell. So the range of movement includes 2 positions. And then this one, who knows what it's gonna do, but who cares? Because what's already been done is disqualifying. Dang, I just got hit with some sleepy right now. I was gonna stay up and play video games and do a little more study, but I think I might go to bed. All right, so we're getting to the... Ooh, you see that big jump down? We're probably going to enter the sale. Doesn't mean we're going to stay there. That jumpiness is not a jump down tendency. It's a jumpy tendency. Market is getting jumpy. I don't want nothing to do with that. Wicks, I don't want nothing to do with that. All right, we'll still look anyway, but this one disqualifies it because it's in the sell position, so the range of movement includes 2 different positions. Actually, it includes 3 different positions, so there's nothing for me to do. But we'll look anyway here. Okay, 72 to 6 to 5, so we're going down. I don't know if we're staying down because the behavior hasn't showed me stay. Oh man, that yawn, boy. So I felt loud. I like the incrementality in the pricing at this very moment. Click. Did an imaginary click in. Why would I not click on this? Because this, or excuse me, that, this, and this. Look, they're still pricing 12 seconds remaining. This market, all over the place. Yeah, it would have won, but that's not a good quality product. So, hope you got something out of this one. We got to review a really good quality income building product at the beginning. If you didn't see it, just watch the first 15 minutes or so, and you'll see the breakdown of it and all that. But just gonna keep on doing this. Keep on building this account up to a number that I want. And then at some point, I'm going to start taking revenue. But that's then this, for now, is see you next time.